Hey, what's up guys? Matt here with Fix Anything Save Money. Today we're going to be showing you how to replace the line on this Bolens BL160 trimmer. So we're going to be walking you through this process step by step. It's really not hard to do, but there's a couple things that could kind of hang you up. So I wanted to make this video and kind of walk you through it. I also have a video up on how to replace the carburetor on this machine and also how to do your yearly tune-up. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe, check out those videos. Okay, so we'll get right into this line replacement. You can see here, we don't have any line on this yet. So all we're gonna do is remove this cap right here, just rotating it counterclockwise. And this is going to allow us to remove the actual spindle that you hold the line into. So there's the cap, and here's our spindle. So now I just want to point out kind of what this looks like. So when you look inside of it, you're going to see those two little holes right there. One there, and then one there. And the line is only going to go in a certain way. It's only going to go in that way. So we'll show you more of that in detail, but you'll be able to tell when you go to put the line in kind of why it only goes in one way. And then you can see here, if you flip it over, these are the little line holders. We have 0.095 line. So we're going to be using this clip and this clip right here. But we'll show you that too. So all we're going to do is we're going to unwind some trimmer line, and I like to just do 10 to 12 feet, not much more, because this is a thicker line, so it's going to take up a lot of room inside of these little grooves, so I don't like to use that much. So all we're going to do is just take it, grab one end, and you just want to kind of feed it so that you have two equal ends. It just makes it easier. Make sure it's not knotted up. Make sure it's kind of, so we're just going to take our two ends, slide them up. So there's our two ends. And then we have our loop. We're going to cut that loop, but for now we're just going to leave it. Okay, so now we have our two ends. We're just going to take our spindle and we're just going to, like I showed you, those two holes, we're just going to put one in and just kind of push it in there pretty good like that. And like I said, it only goes in one way. You can't put it in this way. It won't allow you to. So then we're going to put our second piece in, and then when we wrap this, have it look just like this, and then we're going to wrap it back on itself that way. And we're going to make sure that these lines are separated in each one of those grooves the whole time we're doing it. You don't want to cross them at any point. Okay, so then we're just going to take it and we're just going to wind our line. Just like that. Just keep going until you hit your loop. Or you could cut the line prematurely if you're starting to get, you know, if the line is starting to fill up inside of it. You could kind of cut your line. Just want to make sure that it's not getting tangled. It's not crossing over into any of the other grooves. And I'd rather use less line and have to do this more often than try to force a bunch of line into it and then have it get like jammed up and have to redo it. So when in doubt, err on the side of using less line. Like I'm not even gonna use all this. I'm just gonna cut it right here. But if you were winding it all the way up, you would just be left with that loop, and then you would cut it in the middle. But we're just gonna cut this loop. We're gonna cut our line right here. And then we'll just discard this little piece right here. Okay, so now we're going to take our two ends and we're going to find that 0.095 on each side, and we're going to just kind of set it in there for the time being. So there's one, and then the other one is on the opposite end. Okay, there's two. And then you could even trim these up so that they're more even, like that. Because the next step is the hardest step, and that's fitting it into these eyelets right here. There's one here, and then if you turn it, there's one here as well. So that's what we're going to be putting our line into. Okay, so we'll just kind of get that situated like that. Then we'll get our trimmer so you guys can see it better. Kind of move back and over. So like I said, here's our one eyelet right here, and then our other ones right here. And then all we're going to do is put our string into it. And you want to make sure these don't pop out of these little holders just yet. It could be a little cumbersome, especially when you're trying to film it. But okay, so now we have those two in, and then we're going to put this spring over this. So just kind of feed the line up, kind of pull it as you're going, and just kind of be gentle with it. Keep pulling it, and then right before you push it all the way in, you want to pull it off of these hooks. These don't sit in here permanently. If you leave these in here and you just jam it in, then it's not going to feed the line out when you go to bump feed it. So let me back the camera up a little more, and I'll kind of try to show you that. So we're just going to push it in slowly, and then we're just going to pull our line out like that on each side. We're just going to pull straight out. And like I said, it's not the easiest thing to do, but it does. So we're going to pull that one out and then push it in. And then same with that. And then when you're done, it should move freely like that. If it's bunching up, if you can't push this in easily, then it's not going to auto feed correctly. So you need to pull it out and start over. So then we're just going to take that, and we're just going to tighten our nut down. But yeah, that's the main thing. Just give it a test and make sure that you're able to push that in freely, because that's what's going to allow you to bump feed it. And then you could even test it. You could kind of push it in and just pull out, and you could see we're releasing line there, and then push in, pull out. You could see we're releasing line there. So we know that we're going to have our line come out when we're going to bump it. And then I like to just trim this up. You know, here's our little guide right here. That's what's going to hit the line. So I like to trim each line up so that it doesn't hit. I mean, but the line will kind of break off on its own. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That is how you replace the trimmer line on this Bolens BL160. Like I said, it's not very complicated, but there are just that one little step where you have to kind of pull the line out of those notches before you set it in. That's really the hardest part. But if you guys have any questions at all, be sure to reach out in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, if you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out all my other tool and DIY videos. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.